We back. We got an Ask the Kizimacast. What is our Ask the Cast? Trying to read our board. Gotta have good vision because it's on the other side of the wall.
I got some good glasses. I believe we was looking at
It's the Missouri one.
Yeah, that
about
reinstates spanking.
All right, so the state one school system in Missouri.
Wait, who submitted the question?
Me.
Okay.
One school system in Missouri had on like the voting thing or something that they wanted to bring back spanking or whatever, long as the parent okay.
Mm-hmm.
And my question to the cast members is, one, are you okay with school officials beating your children, spanking your children? And I guess that's really the only question.
How the fuck no?
Right.
No. And then anyway, a follow up question for this, because I'm sure you know more than me, but like you probably, I don't know, whatever. Every parent has to sign a consent form now. Mm-hmm. For every single one of their child, their children's and school,
to get beat or to not get beat.
Right, like
you can opt in or opt out.
You can opt in or opt out, and then like that's just like, what the fuck? This is the rest of the law in the state about like beating kids in general.
So are they talking about like a paddle, or are they talking about like a belt?
Are they using the rule of thumb?
The article didn't go into specifics, but they just said spankings, and they specifically said not beatings. You are not allowed to hit the child in the head or the face.
What the fuck is a spanking? Is that what white people get? Sorry,
I don't know.
Hit on the bottom.
You can't hit them in the head or the face for facts. That's the only rule that I know for sure.
But my thing is, like, is they gonna be doing this with a paddle? Is they gonna be doing this with a switch? A goddamn
They're
whip?
not touching my kids.
I got quite a few issues with this. But I'm gonna go through my issues with it first. The first thing is they be hiring all these corrupt ass teachers. You know, it's not really no program that is really vetting these teachers to see if their hearts and minds is in the right place.
True that.
And they're teachers. Who are they to discipline?
But see, this is my devil's advocate side of that. These teachers being there with all these badass kids and they not getting disciplined nowhere else. Not saying that spanking is the form of discipline that they should get, but sometimes these children get physical with these adults. You know, I can go through so many things.
Then they get their ass whooped.
But that's why I don't want to agree with it for sure, because I also know that, you know, it's certain things, certain mental illnesses and behavior issues that affect children, you know what I'm saying? And we've been in a pandemic for 3 years, so I know that half of these kids that's going back to the school, they ain't right. Mm-hmm. They've been home with their abusers, you know what I mean? So some of them, their only way to communicate is by being physically aggressive. And you cannot beat on that type of child, because all they're going to do is try to figure out how to beat you harder, or, you know what I'm saying, how to take more hits or whatever the case may be. Like, they are not going to learn that violence is not the way, that the path that they should be going down.
Okay, I got a follow-up question, Teaser. What's your answer?
Oh, my answer is obviously no. I thought I didn't even need to. I think I told on the pod, I'm not even letting my family hit my kids. I'm not hitting my kids. And I told, like, that's the thing. Nobody's hitting my kids, so yeah, obviously not in the school.
And that was going to be my follow-up question, because, of course, I wouldn't want my kids getting beat either. But so the type of parent you want to be, like, when you have kids, you not go beat your kids? Mm-mm. Ace?
Mm-mm.
Los?
I don't know yet. It's really hard to know.
Or y'all beat his kids?
Yes, I was.
With what?
Whatever was handy.
Yeah, it was.
I've had extension cord, switches, the typical shit, belts.
I ain't never got beat with no extension cord.
Latino versions of all of that.
I got beat with a switch. You said what?
Latino versions of all of that.
What's the Latino versions?
Chanclas, brooms.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
I was trying to think.
Latino women are crazy as fuck.
Chanclas.
Yeah.
No, but no. Like, I've never got beat with an extension cord, but I got beat with a switch.
I'm not
in a belt. Mom. But I don't think I wouldn't want to beat my kids either, because number one, first of all, whipping and beating your kids like that come from slavery. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period. Agreed.
I just think, I mean, yeah, I agree. Maybe. But I think ultimately it just sends the wrong sign. Shouldn't nobody be hitting you, dog?
Yeah.
Like, nobody should be
Yeah.
putting your hands on you. And if they do, hit them back. It don't matter who it is. Nobody should, like, interrupt your personal space like that. And they shouldn't get a pass on it just because you're a kid.
And I'm just saying,
That's even more reason not to do it.
Right.
be creative about it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a more deeply rooted problem in the system of like, everybody has to learn this way, blah blah blah. These kids are probably assholes in school because they're not being taught in a way that's effective or conducive to how they can learn. And so, I mean, it's just a overall problem with the school system and the teaching system. And so saying that beating some kids might work and others might not, like instead of beating them, like why not find a different way to like teach them?
And I was gonna say, like I said, like I touched on, some kids are getting beat at home already. They don't need to go home. I mean, come to school and then still get their ass whooped.
Yeah, they getting beats at home and at school. They getting beats for a reason. So somebody not doing their job right.
And if these schools are like really modeled after like, let's say, factories, then they're just gonna start thinking like, okay, so when I go out into the workforce, they're just gonna start beating my ass out there too.
All right. I was gonna say they definitely modeled off after the prison systems, which uniquely affects us as black people.
And just makes you
You know
it
what
makes
I'm
you
saying?
more
Black
okay
and
with
brown people.
getting put into that system.
Exactly, and we can't allow that, especially if like we already have like police officers fucking us up out there for no fucking reason. We gonna have even more children thinking that shit just okay for them, for somebody to put their hands on them, and it's not.
Gather round if you brown, everybody. We out here. We gotta stand up for these children. We can't let them get beat.
I mean, can you? I was about to ask though. Can you really even say that when the school is giving the parents the choice? Like, we can't stop them from getting beat if the kids say. I mean, if the parents say it's cool.
That shouldn't be
and
an
we shouldn't use the
option.
word beat.
And I would like to know, like, what type of area is this school in? Like, is this a predominantly black school or area where this Missouri place?
It's in Alabama.
Is it the whole city of Missouri? And for all the schools, like,
This one is in Missouri.
Either way,
Oh,
it'll
it's in Missouri,
definitely
right.
it'll definitely disproportionately affect
black kids.
black people.
You're right.
Would it, if it's opting out? Like, I mean, would more black people be okay with it versus white people? I think the opposite. I think more white people would be more okay.
Okay, if
I
more
think- I
black
think more
people,
black people.
were okay with it, again, there's children that's getting beat. Like, these parents obviously don't know better. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to hit on these children in order to make them do what you need for them to do. But also, sometimes, like, adults, the things that we be asking them children is completely unnecessary. It's completely unrealistic. We wouldn't want nobody to ask our grown asses that. So we shouldn't put that type of pressure on them.
Bro, I don't know, bro. Them whipping scared me to fuck straight. I'm just saying, like, they did their motherfucking job.
No, they didn't.
I'm
Obviously
scared.
not.
Hell of obviously not. I could probably count on my hand how many times I got my ass beat. I got on a lot of punishments.
Shit got you
But
curious.
I got my ass beat only a handful of times.
That shit got you wondering.
I mean, at the same time, you don't need to be beat. You know what I'm saying? It's no
Yeah, I
reason that you
probably did.
needed to be beat.
You're absolutely right. If my mom would have just talked to me, you know what I'm saying, we definitely probably would have gotten the same result and less trauma.
My cousins who have kids, I've had this discussion with them, and they said that that all sound good until your 2-year-old is like running around and it's no reasoning with them, and that timeout shit and that like threatening shit ain't gonna work if you ain't actually gonna do something eventually. So I'm just throwing that out there, devil's advocate.
I would not beat.
right. No, I was going to throw
that's what
to the
2-year-olds
devil's
do.
advocate thing too. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just saying I would not think about beating no 2-year-old because that's what 2-year-olds gonna do. That's what kids gonna do. Like, you gotta have patience for that.
2-year-olds aren't in school though.
Let's not say beat then.
That's right.
You wouldn't hit a 2-year-old at all when they in a terrible too.
I mean, I might pop. I
they learning to
will
run and
probably
jump
pop
and say
they
no?
motherfucking. I will pop that ass. My grandma used to pop me in school right in the forehead. I mean, in church, like, bitch, shut up. You know what I'm saying? So I will pop that. I might do a little flick on the forehead.
So you are for spankings then?
I'm for popping that ass.
I don't know, man. I might go for more of like a psychological warfare with these kids. Like, they'll know which look I'm looking at. Like, they'll know it by my eyes immediately. Like, yeah, you can't be fucking around with me right now.
I mean,
They only gonna know that if you give them that. What's gonna happen if they fuck around with you? Type of
They gotta learn.
whooping.
I feel the same way. Like with Jun, like I'm thinking about my dogs. So I really don't like to beat my dogs. Even when they be being bad, even when they fuck up. But I will flick their ass in the forehead. You know what I'm saying? But like that's not me spanking them. That's not me beating them. That's me disciplining them. And a lot of times they will also understand simply by the tone of my voice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, some kids, my thing is, I think as a parent, you have to try to go through every avenue possible to reach your child. And then when you can't do that, you know what I'm saying? It still don't like means like beat them or harm them, because that's gonna be reflective of how they respond to situations that they uncomfortable with. You just uncomfortable in this situation, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to address that.
Have any of y'all parents in here said this gonna hurt me more than this gonna hurt you? I feel like it's like a staple in a black home.
They have to say that. It's a
Yeah.
I don't remember anybody saying that.
after it
And I don't
happens a
think it ever
while.
did.
After it happens so many times, like it's like one of those achievement unlocks things that they have to just say it.
Yeah, it gotta be for real. Because I mean, but when you think about it though, that's like that speaks on the trauma in it, because it's like you doing this, but you know it's wrong. You know this gonna hurt the kid, and you doing this to your kid is really hurting you, but you still doing it just because of it's what was done for you. That shit like generations and generations and generations of how to discipline your children. You know what I'm saying? This is what we think is right. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all we ever known.
Another thing, you know, one thing that's directly a derivative from slavery, along with the spankings and shit, is like when, say a teacher acknowledges your child, black child or brown child, hey, your child is doing exceptional, blah, 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 blah. Then the parent goes and self-deprecate the child. That's a direct derivative of slavery, because that was at times where we didn't want master to really see our child as a prize, because those are the children that get sold off. You know what I'm saying? Those are the children that lose their connections and shit with their family and shit. And so we, like, generations later, inherently tear our children down. We the ones that beat them down before they even get into the school system.
Yeah.
We the ones that's fucking up their ego before they even get into the school system.
And so, what you said, self-deprecate? What does that mean?
It's when you shit on yourself.
Basically.
I'm kidding.
Deprecate, man. That's what I'm trying to make sure.
I mean, but in a slang way, it is when you shit on yourself.
Yeah.
So you
For real.
shitting on your kid? Is that what you
It's like
self-deprecate the children?
tearing them down.
Tearing them down. Okay. True shit. Okay, and another thing that's from slavery, like I grew up in the South. I wanted to mention this too. That yes ma'am, yes sir shit. Y'all know that shit come from slavery?
Yeah, I don't do that.
You know, Florida is not the South, right?
No, but it's tough
What?
enough. My family from
It's
Georgia.
southern.
My
but
family's
it's not
from
the
Georgia
South.
though, but you right. But my family's
It's
from
Spanish.
Georgia though. This is like slave state still, goddamn. And I don't think there's nowhere in this or nowhere else in the United States with the mentality that the people have in Georgia. I feel really kind of oppressed.
Yeah, they like they don't even say yes, ma'am. They say yes, ma'am.
Yeah, no.
Why do you
see?
feel
I'm about to
oppressed?
start saying it. I mean, I just feel like it's just a constant reminder of slavery and where we come from here, and it's like a hierarchy type of feeling that I feel. You know what I'm saying? That I'm still trying to break. I don't know if that maybe that's because I went to Clark Atlanta or what, and I'm able to see like all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying, or what? But that's just how I feel.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how oppressed do y'all feel?
I mean, I feel
Just
like
asking a question.
I feel like I'm at a good 3.
Depends on who's talking to me, really. But
In general,
overall,
in your
not-
30 plus years,
not really. I want to say it's solid 7. Yeah.
what?
Oh, like sorry.
I was gonna say 7 is pretty impressed, bro.
High. So that's I need a low number. I don't know, like 2 or 3. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
say a 5 or 6.
Hot damn.
Privilege of
5
being,
or 6?
Yeah, but
Privilege being
she's
a man.
also a black woman too. So
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
young black lesbian female.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, I forgot I'm gay oppressed too.
I mean, 6 though. That's like
I'm at
that's
a,
like
I'm at a
1970s.
5 now.
Nah,
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
at the
Right,
same
but
time,
I mean, like every group is oppressed, but it's just like how, like, just
White people
like,
aren't oppressed.
How much are you surrounding yourself by these people who are who you feel oppressed by, and so that's why, like, yeah, like
I mean,
I'm
that's
not
why.
surrounding myself at all.
But I-
because
but I
don't
have-
Right,
feel
so that's why I'm
oppressed.
saying
But I have
that's
to
why
exist
I felt yours, but like his changing to immediately to a 5 out of nowhere just because, oh yeah, I'm gay, I'm
Yes,
gay.
I forgot about that oppression.
Like, how often do you feel that oppression?
I feel it right now.
Because the
Okay.
key is to go where you're celebrated and not just tolerated. You know what I'm saying? So
Thank you.
on a large scale of shit, do I feel like these things are literally holding me back? No. But figuratively and historically, yes, man. This is all strikes against me excelling to where I need to be excelling to. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, is gay press the new word? We got depression. Now I'm gay press.
I mean, honestly, people have been adding gay in front of every word for forever now.
Because everything is gay.
Everything is gay. Everything is gay.
I just wanted to ask the oppression thing because I, in 2022, very seldom feel like I'm in a situation where racism is why that just happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be around people and I feel like they may ask a question because I'm black and they don't like encounter many black people, but outright racism or even a microaggression, as people like to say.
I don't even
I
feel
don't really
see
feel like
oppression
that.
like that though.
How do you see oppression?
I see it as just me just trying to just living in this environment or this society. You know what I'm saying? And just be an active, willing participant within everything that I have to do in order to survive. That's where I feel the oppression. It's not from people around me.
Can you give me an example?
Like
in your everyday life, you're saying?
yeah, just like having to be able to survive on a minimum wage and not having access to a lot of other opportunities or things that other people might have. You know what I'm saying?
You just feel oppressed by the system?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's would be the thing that oppresses you most at this day.
Yeah.
Like, it's not necessarily white people.
No, it's the system.
The system,
It's the system.
Yeah.
that the white people put in place.
Thank you. For real. But yeah, okay. That was good. That was good.
And I'm really not even trying to like be anything with this. This is a genuine question. What part of the system do y'all feel oppressed? Like
Economically, bro.
yeah, definitely
Like
economically.
I don't mean in a macro sense. I mean like in a very specific, like I go down to the post office and they won't take my mail, or food
Just
stamps won't
like
fuck with
you
me,
heard
or
how
they
like
target me or whatever.
the job applications thing, right? If you put like it's like they automatically like give females lower starting wages than men. One. How like if I had a ghetto ass name or something like that, or I don't want to say ghetto, ethnic ass name or something like that, they, you know, like I'm lucky with my name.
Uncommon name is all it really takes. An uncommon.
Right. They quick to like pass you over for somebody who has a more simpler name or something like that. You know, like we all know about those discrepancies.
That's facts.
Is that affecting me now? I don't know. I'm not in those conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like literally me, I'm not in those conversations, but I can see it happening.
That's
So
facts.
you got a question?
Nobody gonna be able to hear you. You got a mic there though. What's the thing with your name?
What?
Freedom.
Oh, so there was this lady who was in a supervisory position. I introduced myself as Ace. When I had a supervisor there, I was introduced as Ace. This is the only name you've ever known me by, is Ace. But I felt like she was being microaggressive by calling me by my legal name. Now, do I got grounds to stand on that? No, because again, that's my legal name. But at the same time, I've expressed that this is the name that I've chosen to identify by. You know what I'm saying? It's certain traumas and things associated with my legal name, and it's the reason why I'm not going by that name. So respect my name, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that happens in the workplace a lot.
Mm-hmm. And I guess even the fact that you have to explain that to someone,
right?
when they just not getting the
Right. This is what I introduced myself as. This is what you call me.
Because I wanted to say, like, why can't you just, like, tell her that? But if you got to do that with everybody or just with people, it's like, yeah.
So now I got to ask, are you so... I guess after hearing what you've been saying about how you feel oppressed or how in general there's oppression, are you so emphatic that you feel like you're at a 5, that because the oppression occurs around you and not specifically to you, that's why you also feel it and that's why you're at a 5? Because if it's like a personal like if it's been happening to you personally, how often does it happen to the point that it affects your life?
My thing is this. I can't say that I have not been turned down for something that I was seeking after because of my age. You know what I'm saying? They probably chose someone older or more mature. They probably chose someone with more credentials than me. Mm-hmm. They probably chose someone of an opposite sex. And these are not all events that's happening all at the same time or anything, but over a span of my life, I have seen this happen to myself as well as other people. They don't want women working in this particular field, so they'll do interviews with women, but they hire all men. You get what I'm saying? So, like, I feel it, but at the same time, I've been able to navigate it without it totally taking me out.
Yeah, I definitely do think that economically is probably like the main portion, like where the oppression comes in, especially like when you live in check to check, you know what I'm saying, and you got the cost of living that just keep going up, you know what I'm saying. There's just a lot of stuff that comes into effect with it, and but also like I don't know if anybody else like go through this, and I don't know if it could be something that maybe I need to work on maybe internally. But even like when I'm interacting with white people, like I feel like I have to be like overly nice so they don't think I'm like coming off as a threat. You know what I'm saying? Like, did anybody else experience that? I
mean, I feel that with dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I was working at AutoZone, it wasn't nothing but niggas that was giving me attitudes. Nothing but niggas. And niggas, like, they would all out threaten and cuss you out, but they mad that I'm a manager. They hated to see me in a position of power. You know what I'm saying? And even with, like, at my last job, this supervisor, he felt comfortable enough to make a joke around me and another female associate that you wouldn't dare make in front of other dudes. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't dare come off like that in front of other dudes. But it be those types of microaggressions that affect everything. You know what I'm saying? Now, did that one interaction affect anything I had on specifically? No. But it's only because he felt comfortable enough to make that happen that was a problem. My bad, Susan.
Was that mine? Mm-mm. What was your question again? Because I had an answer.
I was just talking about how, like, do you feel like you kind of have to be overly nice when you interact now?
This might be my white shit or my white sympathizer shit, but I kind of feel like I have to do that with everybody. So I don't. Yes, I do that with white people, but I feel like I do that with everybody. You know what I mean? Like, and this is personal, I guess. I feel like I'm a generally disagreeable person. Like I always disagree with people. So it's like I have to make sure that I express myself in a way where people know like I'm not attacking you. I just really disagree. And I often disagree. So please know this isn't like personal to you, but I just disagree. So yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
But I definitely do have to do that to white people.
Yeah.
And me being back in a white environment from my black ass job that I was at before, and now being really working with white people, I wasn't doing it for like the first month, but my white voice definitely came back to me. Like, so pick up a couple octaves because I used to talk to these niggas real calm like this.
Right.
Yeah, they not responding the way they need to.
But with that, is feeling like that kind of go with feeling oppressed?
I would say yes. Actually, Shout out to Georgian Nation. I'm pointing at you because you love to shout her out every chance you get.
Oh, yeah.
But that's where I first learned about, I don't think they weren't called that at the time, but microaggressions and just different pieces of racism that black people have to deal with. Like when I go into a store, I have to be mindful of the fact that white people might think I'm stealing.
Right.
When I'm walking down the street, I have to be mindful of the fact that if I have my hoodie on, this white lady is going to feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
Like, so it's that way, and sure, I feel oppressed, but I think that's just life.
I was just thinking about them.
I feel those things as a man in general. Like,
I would say that if it was like little kids and I got my hoodie on, like, come on, bro, don't make these little kids feel uncomfortable.
I'm just thinking about them Karens, like, who be in the street when this... they be on camera, they just be flipping out like, he's attacking you. Like, they just be tripping, but that shit is crazy, though. Like, even
I've never had an experience like that, bro. Like,
me either. And I would laugh. I would definitely pull out my phone and record the crazy bit. I definitely would.
I was too young to record my Karen moment.
I didn't give you permission to record me.
Bitch, I don't need permission. Now what, bitch? You're on candy camera now.
how old were you when you had your Karen moment?
I want to say that was like 14 or 15. Like,
You had a Karen moment?
like, so she was like, I was on my way to like okay, so I was on my way to like go to my first kiss, like hey, like I was talking to a girl, and like we planned to meet up, like yeah, like I'm about to go.
What
for
do
this.
you call that? Your first rendezvous?
I don't know, but
First kiss?
that's what was happening. Anyways, I didn't have a cell phone at the time, so it's just like I had to call her before I left. And I got to her area, and I've never been to her place, so I'm just like wandering around, like gotta hope she finds me out here. And I don't know if you guys ever seen like those red like posts on in New York or like in the cities. They used to have like these two buttons, one for fire and one for like police. But they're like really old, outdated. They don't even work anymore. You know, they just happen to be there because they haven't been removed. I'm sure they're gone now. But I flipped one open. I didn't even press the button. I just like looked at it. I deadass didn't even press the button. An off-duty officer, a white lady, came through, and she's all like, "What are you doing out here?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "You can't be touching those buttons." And I'm like, I didn't. I flipped the switch, but no one touched the buttons. And she's like, "Well, what are you doing out here?" And I'm not about to tell her. I'm out here trying to meet up with a girl kissing. And she's like, "Well, you need to go back where you came from." And I'm like, I was born in Jersey and I grew up here in the Bronx. So which one are you talking about? And I'm like, and then she just responded with like, "You're just lucky I'm off duty cop right now." Like
That's crazy.
She lying.
and I was just like, all right, so like kind of like that meme where, you know, P Diddy staring. And I'm like, at that point, it's just like, I'm not sure what we're doing here, and we were just having like a stare off, and she was just kind of like going off on her Karen ways. And
I didn't know people been saying that, like, go back to where you came from. I thought that was like some Trump shit.
I don't know that.
Yeah, I had. I would call this like a Karen experience. You know what I'm saying? But this one police officer. Now, the first time I ever met her, I was at the police station taking care of some business. I think just getting like a copy of a traffic ticket or some shit. The nicest person I ever fucking met, right? And she was like, "Oh yeah, you can see this person." Da, da, da. Very helpful, whatever like that. This dumbass code enforcement bitch lives here in my complex, and she seen me outside with my dogs off the leash or whatever like that. So they come and serve me a ticket for that shit. Now this same officer is out there, but I see the police when they knock on the door. I come out like I don't know why the police is coming to my house. You know what I'm saying? So I step outside.
Strap.
Nah, I wasn't strapped in. I tell my cousin to lock the door behind me, you know, because I don't need the police coming up in my shit for no reason. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you here for? And then, so my cousin, goofy ass, not by the door. Like, if some shit popped up like, nigga, you supposed to be by the door to let me back in. Right? So she not by the door or whatever. But I'm knocking on the door. They was like, so you having trouble getting in? I'm like, nah, I just told her to lock the door. You know, with the climate of how things are going on between police and black people, I just wanted to feel safe and protect my own residents. Mm-hmm. And, you know, she's like, well, you know, she just made it seem like I was escalating it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And this was a white lady. And I explained, you know, my trauma with white people or white police officers and black people. There's no reason why you should keep escalating this argument to make it seem like it's something that is not about to be. When you serving me something about dogs, it's not like it's no weed shit, no gun shit, no nothing criminal. You're serving me something about my dog. Simmer down.
That'd be my issue, bro. Like when I got us pulled over for like a seatbelt violation, and I'm just like, bro, like, it's real criminals out here doing criminal ass shit. Why is you worried about me not wearing a seatbelt, my nigga? And then I put it over when I seen you next to me. You gonna goddamn still take the time out your day and my motherfucking day and pull me over and write me a ticket, bitch. You wouldn't even know that I didn't have it on if I wanted to put it on. Dummy. That shit is all about the money. They don't give a fuck. Sorry. I had to vent.
I mean, no, that's all real shit. It's all extortion.
It is.
Don't let them whoop your kids. We'll be back after this.